Well, here we are, yet another day of Solitude transcription. And let's listen to Nowarian's latest as we continue. Here we go. There we go. That page is written. Let's look for any errors. Okay, let's read it. Oh, the sentence before goes 4 pages ahead, 4 pages back. Here we go. Hi, Basically Coffee. Good morning. Boy, I sure do like this Nowarians tune. It doesn't, I don't think it comes across quite the same. There we go. Let's turn that off. Nowarians has good stuff. Okay, let's read it. Make that big. Okay. So we're going to have to, the mainline text is going to have to spread here across 4 pages. All, in short, feel less delight in the actual enjoyment of worldly pursuits, however great and honorable they may be, than in the idea of their being able to relinquish them and retire to ultimate reward of his enterprising conquest. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, here it is. Yes, that's right. Good morning, Erica. It's this whole bit right here. All, in short, feel less delight in the actual enjoyment of worldly pursuits, however great and honorable they may be, than in the idea of their being able to relinquish them and retire to some calm sequestered spot, the world forgotten by the world forgot. Hold on, I didn't do that good. All, in short, feel less delight in the actual enjoyment of worldly pleasures, feel less delight in the actual enjoyment of worldly pursuits, however great and honorable they may be, than in the idea of their being able to relinquish them and retire to. So what? They feel less delight in the actual enjoyment of worldly pursuits than the idea of giving them up and finding some sequestered spot, the world forgotten by the world forgot. That's an interesting proposition. Good morning, Erica. I think you might be muted. The restless and ambitious Piraeus hoped that ease and tranquility would be the ultimate reward of his enterprising conquests. Frederick the Great discovered, perhaps unintentionally, how pleasing and satisfactory the idea of tranquility was to his mind when, immediately after he had gained a glorious and important battle, he exclaimed on the field of battle, "Oh, that my anxieties may now be ended." So I see. So he's laying out an example of 3 different notable individuals who kind of wished to find themselves away from society. The Emperor Joseph also displayed the predominance of this passion for tranquility and retirement. Well, let me highlight this. When on asking the famous German pedestrian, you can be a famous pedestrian? The word pedestrian must have an archaic meaning. I know it can mean two things: plain and commonplace things. Morning, Erica.
Oh, hello. I'm not sure if you could have heard me. I said good morning.
No, I couldn't hear you. I think you were muted. You might have been muted. You were showing muted on my end.
Yes. I said good morning, but you were. I said good morning at first. When you said good morning. But you were reading, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, all right. Well, good morning to you. How you doing this morning?
Good. And I actually removed you from the stream, but I added you back.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It was an accident.
That's
Sorry,
all right.
everybody.
So a pedestrian is a person. I'm well ahead of schedule this morning.
Pedestrian.
A person walking along a road or in a developed area, or lacking inspiration or excitement, dull. I don't get that then. Who could be a pedestrian? A famous German pedestrian. Is that really what he wrote?
That's interesting.
Pedes. That sure does look like pedestrian. Okay, we'll leave it be. The Emperor Joseph also displayed the predominance of this passion for tranquility and retirement when, on asking the famous German pedestrian Baron Grothus what country he next. Oh, of course. Well, I guess he is. I guess that word at that time meant like a traveler. We would say famous German traveler, because he says what next countries he next intended to travel. So he's a guy who walks all over Europe. Was told a long number in rapid succession. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. For example, if you were alive during those times, then you would have been pedestrian.
I think so. Because I like to walk.
Yeah.
And what then? Continued the emperor. Why then? Replied the baron. I intend. Wait here. And what then? Continued the emperor. Why then? Replied the baron. I intend to retire to the place of my nativity and enjoy myself in rural quietude and the cultivation of my patrimonial farm. Ah, my good friend, I'm curious about the word patrimonial. Does that mean like, the hereditary farm, or the farm of his father had before him? Because that seems to be the word patrimony. Patrimonial.
Patrimony.
An estate inherited from one's father or ancestors. Okay, so that is what it is. So he plans to go to his family farm. We'd say family farm. Ah, my good friend, exclaimed the emperor, if you will trust the voice of sad experience, you had better neglect the walk and retire before it is too late to the quietude and tranquility you repose. Almost let's see, that would be almost 150 years later, Ralph Waldo Emerson said almost the same thing when he advised that the wise man stays at home. What do you think, Erica? Is it wiser to travel, or is it wiser to stay at home?
I think it's wiser to travel because it's more fun that way.
Why are these guys saying it's better to stay at home?
Maybe back in those days would say they would advise to stay at home because it's more better if you work in the fields, if you have a farm or a patch of land to help the family, like with crops.
So maybe it was better just to make sure you could get by and survive, huh? Okay, so maybe we live in better times because we can have the luxury of going out and doing stuff. Publius Scipio, surnamed Africanus, during the time that he was invested with the highest offices of Rome and immediately engaged in the most important concerns of the empire, withdrew whenever an opportunity occurred from public observation to peaceful privacy, and though not devoted, like Tully, to the elegant occupations of literature and philosophy, declared that he was never less alone than when alone. Okay, I know that guy actually. He got that surname Africanus due to his conquest of territories in Africa. We did it. We got through the page in record time.
That's cool. That's wonderful. And um, actually, the whole time when you were reading, it kind of reminded me of a story from the Bible about Joseph and how he got sold to Egypt by his jealous brothers.
Yeah, that's quite a tale. It reminded you of that.
Mm-hmm. Because it said that Joseph had a farm
Yeah.
and he had a dream about about sheep. Um, but he did go on a journey because he was sold by his brothers um into slavery.
Right.
And
Right.
then he became a pharaoh sooner or later.
Well, I think he became like a lieutenant to Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh. Like
I I
Pharaoh
believe
Pharaoh made Pharaoh made him number one in the land after Pharaoh, right?
oh yes, I believe so. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it ties into some of the aspects to that article.
Hmm. Yeah. Perhaps.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Um, but sorry if I worried you yesterday.
Oh, I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I was worried. You didn't show up. So I
Oh,
was
my bad. Um, my mistake. Yeah, yes. But I'm here now, so I'm fine.
you slept in, huh?
Mm-hmm. My bad.
Yeah. Well, this is awfully early.
No, it's okay. I mean, well, but what is your opinion um about Joseph going on this entire journey, but yet his beginnings was like working at his family farm.
Well, I think it's a myth, and I think it provides a nice pretext to get Egypt, the people, his family down into Egypt, so that it can set the stage for the story of the Exodus. Without Joseph, we might not have the whole. It sets the stage for what's to come in the Old Testament. So I don't think it really happened. I think it's an a very interesting story, and it reads very well, especially the surprise ending. You know, when he reveals who he really is to his brothers, when they eventually come down to get the grain to avoid starving to death. So it has a it's a well written tale.
Uh, yes, it does. And also, will you be do you think what would you travel if you were able to travel all over Europe back in those days?
Back in the time of when this book was written, or back in the biblical times?
Um, like within the article we just finished, because they mentioned if you're a traveler in those days, you would basically travel all over Europe, and you'll be a pedestrian.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'd probably just wander every day wherever my feet took me, wherever interest took me. I'm not really sure where I'd go. I wouldn't know enough about it. The world was so different back then. But I'd just probably get up every day and just wander. How about you? Where would you go?
Mm, same here. I never traveled outside. Oh, hello,
Hi, Maddie.
Maddie. Uh,
Yeah, you would go where?
I would basically travel to everywhere, to be honest, because the world is so vast and new, and um So my answer would be the same as you, Mr. Kurt.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
But of course, I would bring souvenirs for
Yeah.
friends and family.
Where's the favorite place you've ever been?
You know what? Um, I would say, um, I would say Florida.
Oh, I've never been to Florida. Is it nice?
Yes, but it gets pretty muggy,
Yeah, that's what I
and
hear.
due to the temperatures, you might get an you might get exposed to elements, and you might get a reaction because my mother, unfortunately, she got a reaction from the weather,
Hmm.
but she was fine. She just had to apply ointment
Oh,
every
really?
day.
And that made her feel better?
Yes, eventually. And too bad she couldn't go to the hospital
Oh,
because
really?
we didn't have insurance.
Oh.
Unlike it's free in Canada and in Mexico, but health insurance should be free everywhere.
Hmm.
I think so. How about you?
Well, I can only compare what I experienced here compared to what I experienced in Japan. So in Japan, insurance was comprehensive and cheap and readily available, and good healthcare as well. And here it seems to be very expensive and hard to get and unequally applied. So I think there's better systems than what we have.
Yes, was Yumiko-san surprised about healthcare here?
Yes, she was. She was. Yes, yeah, we were. In
Oh,
fact, that's probably one of the reasons why we'll probably go retire in Japan, is so that we can enjoy the good health care there.
mm, but I'll miss you guys when you retire.
Yeah, yeah, I'll still be online, but yeah, but it'll be a different place maybe. Won't be California. We'll be leaving California for sure.
hmm But we have to meet one of these days if you want to
I would like that. That would be very nice.
before you're before you retire.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, we might as well take advantage of the fact that we live in the same area. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And also, I seen that you took some pictures of the boys yesterday.
Yeah, during our walk, we had a good time. The boys are getting really good at climbing the mountain behind the house. So I have to carry Rudy halfway up, but more and more he's doing it on his own. I'm really impressed.
Wow, he deserves a reward.
Yes, he
They
does.
they both do.
Yep, yep. I do. I give them snacks when we get back. They get a good reward for that. But they're okay going out yesterday morning, early in the morning, because it's been cold, but it wasn't as cold yesterday. So um, yeah, they're good boys.
Yes, and they're kind of being like you, hiking and achieving challenging obstacles.
Yes, I guess they are. They are pushing forward. How
But
about you? What are your plans for today?
um, nothing much. I'm just gonna have a Zoom meeting and probably that's it. And well, but how about you?
Today I have several meetings throughout the day. I have some documentation to finish. It should be a pretty straightforward day. Nothing too big.
Yes. And how was your big meeting and
It went
how's
we- it
how's
went
your
well.
events? That's
Th-
good.
yeah, it went well. So today we'll be following up on that, on the next step. So thank you for asking. But yeah, it's all unfolding nicely.
Well, that's good. And I think Yumiko-san is a good housewife.
Yeah, she really is. She made a really nice dinner last night. It was so good.
Yes. Well, well, I I wish you can meet meet my family one day.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Um, my mother is quite clever, and I think she's a brave lady, and similar to Yumiko-san.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I like how you call her Mama on camera.
Yeah. Well, that's how we refer to one another. That's the Japanese tradition, right? So in Japan, within a family, you refer to each member of the family from the perspective of the youngest member of the family.
Oh, you know, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought you call each other sweet names like Anata or
So
Koibito.
no, that's why older brothers and sisters are referred to as one-san and oni-san, and that's why they can, and then everyone can refer to the youngest child or anyone below them by their name, and mama and papa are always otosan, okasan, or mama or papa. It's a very interesting Japanese custom.
Yeah, and I hear that in Japan, some people like if you're like calling someone like in public, like at a restaurant, like a waitress or something, sometimes they call them onesan or 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 a Nissan, I think. I don't know.
Yes. Oh, older men will sometimes do that. I've heard them call that. No, I've never seen a woman call a waiter Oni-san, and I don't think I've ever heard a man, older woman, ever call a woman that either. But older men will frequently refer to younger women as One-san, and they have to do that carefully. I mean, I think it works out, but sometimes it can come across kind of strange.
like you're a pervert.
Yeah, or it kind of sounds maybe not so much perverted, but condescending. It sounds a little that way.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think I've never heard a younger man say that, but I've heard older men, usually older men that are a little bit aggressive. You just
Oh,
say that. So
oh,
it doesn't come across well when I hear it.
oh, because I think in Korean culture we kind of do it too, but it's basically like you said, the older generation. Because my grandma would said that once, to a um to a lady who was waiting, who was gonna wait our tables, and my grandma kind of wanted something, but she said, big sister.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, that you've got it right. I think so. It sounds probably the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and also you said that the Japanese male would be particularly more dominant than the female because in Japan, like an elderly couple was having a stroll, and the lady was walking behind her because it's like it's like you know kind of ingrained to be more respectful and dominant.
Mm. Well, I think Zero Cool is saying hello to you in Korean.
안녕하세요. Um, Um, yes. Well, but are we good on time? Like, do you have to leave?
I have to leave. Yep, time to go. But I've got some bad news, Erica.
Mm,
I'm
what
I'm
happened?
not going to be able to do this. I'm going to stop doing these morning readings.
Okay.
Today's the last one. I'm not getting enough sleep, so I'm going to try to recover. I'm going to set the clock back. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to stop getting up at 4 a.m. I'm going to start getting up at 5 a.m. instead, and I'm going to I'm going to reclaim this half hour, and I'm going to start work at 7:30 a.m. instead of 7. So I just not getting enough sleep.
I understand. So you'll be up the same time that I would.
Yeah, I guess so. Right. Yeah. So
Yeah, because basically, um, like I said, the house here says that I shouldn't be getting up at 4 a.m. anymore.
mm,
Um, but like when I went to go to college and like high school and stuff like that, I would get up pretty early. But more on that later. I will let you go.
all
This is
right.
why I
Well,
need
it's
you.
been fun, and
Mhm.
thanks, and I hope you have a good day. Okay, I'll see you over on the Discord.
All right.
Okay,
Bye, everybody.
take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.